If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
Now to the trial of Sean Diddy Combs, and the defense presented its closing arguments to the jury today.
Combs is facing charges including racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. Alice Gaynor has been in court since the beginning and joins us live from the courthouse with the latest. Alice.
Well, during a break, I noticed Sean Combs passed a folded up note. One of his daughters received it. She opened it up. I was sitting behind them. It said, "I love and appreciate you so much." Sean Combs was watching as his defense attorney, Mark Agnifilo, presented his closing argument. He was animated. He was pacing back and forth as he spoke to the jury. It lasted just over 4 hours. Let's go. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo called it a tale of two trials, one about the evidence, he said, and one about what prosecutors told jurors, calling that a false trial. Agnifilo questioned the charges, asking jurors, "Are you kidding me? Did any witness say, yes, I was part of a racketeering enterprise?" He made light of the baby oil and Astroglide seized by law enforcement during searches of Sean Diddy Combs' homes, saying, "Way to go, fellas," telling jurors the crime scene is your private sex life. Agnifilo told jurors there was no sex trafficking. Regarding Cassie Ventura and Combs having freak-offs, described as drug-fueled sexual encounters with male escorts, quote, "This was their life. No one's forcing her to do this. She's a woman who actually likes sex. Good for her. She's beautiful. She should. It's a lifestyle. You want to call it swingers, you want to call it threesomes, whatever you want to call it, that's what it is." He said the two had, quote, "one of the great modern love stories. She was always free to leave." Not police seeing it. Combs has pleaded not guilty to 5 counts, racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution.
I thought a good point the defense made several times is nobody else is charged here. Where are the co-conspirators? If this is supposed to be a conspiracy, there's no one else charged.
Attorney Richard Schoenstein is not involved in the case.
I think if the closing in this case will have more of an impact than usual because these charges are complicated.
The government gave a rebuttal after the defense's closing, arguing back his inner circle agreed to commit crimes. They snapped back. This was a man who couldn't even get his own water bottle. They say his inner circle handled his dirty work for him. On Monday, the judge will charge the jury. Outside the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan, Alice Gaynor, CBS News, New York.
Alice Gaynor at the courthouse. Alice, thank you.
And Alice will be back in court on Monday for verdict watch. When it does come down, we will bring you that decision live. For a look at Alice's previous reporting on the case, head over to CBS.
Diddy lawyers came out swinging. I mean, look, I gotta be honest. I gotta be fair. I gotta be impartial. Diddy's attorneys came out swinging. And when I say swinging, you might imagine in your mind like they came out swinging like, Mike Tyson. They came out swinging, you know what I'm saying, like that boy Mayweather, fast, quick, and dangerous. Nah. They ain't come out swinging like that. They came out swinging like this here. Then they looked up and seen and say, okay, did we knock him down? No, he's still standing. We got. Did we knock him down? No. No. The prosecutor, he like this here. He blocking shot. Hey, hold on. What y'all? Oh, pop. The prosecutor, he pop. Whoa, hold on. Y'all too slow. Hold on now. Pop. The prosecutor was. Man, y'all. Before I get into this demonstration, I gotta say that for Diddy to pay them the money that he paid them, his attorneys, I mean, these might as well be public defenders. Y'all, they closing arguments was pathetic. They might as well be public defenders. This is what I'm talking about. This lawyer begins his opening or his closing statements telling the jury that this whole thing is a love story. That love was mentioned over 800 times in the trial, and that this whole thing is about love. And that the story between Cassie and Diddy, the story between Jane Doe and Diddy, is all about love. I don't want that kind of love right there. I don't want no love, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, I got somebody that's supposed to love me, got me having sex with strangers, and they peeing all in my face, all in my mouth, and if I don't do it, I'm getting beat up and stuff like that, and I'm getting manipulated, you know, to the point where I gotta do certain things that I don't want to do, but I'm compelled to because this person right here got sex tapes. And this person right here, my supposed to be lover, is threatening to reveal these sex tapes and embarrass me. And this supposed to be lover of mine is ruining my career. It's not letting me live the life that I want to live, but because they want to have control over me and continue to control me and to beat on me whenever they want to and to misuse and abuse me whenever they want to. I don't want that kind of love right there. That blew my mind when that man came and told the jury that this is a love story. And then he went to go to telling them about the good things. Like, yeah, you know, he had her on a yacht and, you know, he bought Jane Doe a car and, you know, Cassie, he was everywhere with her and stuff like that. And, you know, he bought her this and he bought Cassie that and bought Jane Doe this and all this. And I'm sitting up there thinking to myself like, that's all fine and dandy. But that's all manipulation, coercion. Of course, when you using somebody for your own benefit, for your own sexual desires, yeah, you got to do good stuff for them. That's a part of the manipulation. Come on now, y'all. I mean, I hope the jury is this conscious. I hope they is. Because this love story thing, come on now, I'm not buying that right there. Then he goes on to say, P. Diddy's lawyer, he goes on to say that this whole thing is domestic violence. And and when I heard that, I said, ooh, I can hear him right now, because the mass majority of people in my comment section that are for P. Diddy was saying that, hey man, you know, this is just domestic violence. But not only that, he also said that, hey, this guy Diddy is just a swinger. They are swingers. Diddy, Cassie, Jane Doe, they swingers. And that is some of the same things that a lot of the people in the comment section who are for Diddy, that's running around, you know what I'm saying, marching with him, they said the same thing. And when I heard that, I said, what? He must be in my comment section or something. Man, come on. Hey, don't be using the arguments that they putting on me, dog. No, hey, player, get out my comment section, man. Get out there, you know, but on the serious note. But he said that. And the reason why he said that it was a domestic thing is because Cassie called it domestic violence. Cassie wrote a statement on some social media site and said that, you know, everything between her and Diddy is good, but the domestic violence is the issue. And he is in the lawyer saying that she did not call it trafficking. She did not call it prostitution. She did not call it a RICO. So believe her. Believe Cassie. She said that it was domestic violence. And I sat up there and I said, man, this dude right here is whack. This is the weakest attorney. I'm talking about his argument is weak. Because we got to understand a lot of us, we don't know nothing about criminal charges. We don't know how to criminally charge somebody. We don't know the elements of crimes and stuff like that to say that, hey, this is that, this is that. We know what we know. We know the small things. We know what robbery is. Pull a gun out, you know, give me your stuff. We know what, you know, rape is, you know, somebody said, like, we know that type of stuff, but we don't know trafficking, racketeering, and all that old type of stuff. That stuff we got to study. So he telling them, hey, yeah, she said it's domestic violence. Believe her. But don't believe her about all this other stuff, though. She lying about all that. Yeah. She lying about all that stuff right there. The stuff that she talking about, he beat her up and all that and made her, had sex with people when she didn't want to have sex with people, made her have sex with people on her period and stuff like. No, don't believe none of that. No, Anything that she said against Diddy, don't believe that. But just believe everything that she said that's in the benefit of Diddy being set free. I hope that this jury is not that lame related, bruh. I'm telling you, man, I can see straight through this. Like, man, for real? Like, you playing on our intellect like that? Like, you think we some fools? Then, through the whole thing, he trying to make Diddy's lawyer is trying to present to the jury that Diddy is the victim. They raided his house. They raided Diddy's house. Diddy kids was in the house. They put yellow tape all around the rooms and stuff like that. He's locked up right now for something that he didn't do. He loved those women. He didn't mistreat those women. He's paying for them he paid for their houses. He paid for cars and stuff like that. He's the victim. I said, man, this lawyer right here done lost his mind. Here it is, you got real victims. I'm talking about that's in there telling you that they was victimized by this man. How many witnesses did they call? They called 30-some witnesses. The prosecution called 30-some witnesses. And they all had bad things to say about Sean P. Diddy Combs. Come on now. And they called nobody to say not one good word, not nobody. But then they wanted to make him out to be the victim. Man, that jury is not finna go for that. They are not finna go for that. Now, then he get deep into the swinger thing. He trying to say, man, this lawyer told the jury that P. Diddy, Jane Doe, and Cassie are swingers. And they live the swingers lifestyle. Not only that, though. He said that when they had the male escorts, he made sure not to call them prostitutes. When they had the male entertainment and the male escorts come, he said that P. Diddy and them was paying the male escorts for their time. Not to have sex, but for their time. But hold on, wait a minute. Because we hood educated, not lame related. I mean, we ain't never been a swinger or nothing like that. But we know a little information about that type of lifestyle, right? I'm talking about in swinger history. I have never heard of a swinger party where people come, have sex, and then get paid when they leave. That ain't how swinging go. Swinging is a group of people that know each other, that kick it with each other, and they just freaks. And they go in there and they, hey man, I've been liking your wife for 2 months now, man. And what you think about it? You like my wife, man? Yeah, she fine, and she know how to do that one thing real good. Okay, yeah, let's swap it up real quick, man. And let's keep it like that. That's swinger type demonstration. Ain't no money being exchanged. They just having sex, and after that, it's over with. But in this situation, every time somebody came to see them, so-called swingers, they was getting paid thousands of dollars. Thousands. And when they couldn't perform, they got a couple hundred. Here you go. I'll give you a couple hundred, man. You came, but you can't. You can't let that thing stand up, man. So I can't give you here a couple hundred just for your time for coming here. I give you a couple hundred. But if you lay that thing down on her like the way I need you to, I got 5,000 for you. You see? So that blows all that out the water. And he is saying this to taxpaying citizens, and some of them might even be swinging. They probably, done swung a few times. They probably in the jury like, hey, man, I ain't never paid to swing, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bob's wife is I ain't got to pay her. She cool. You know what I'm saying? Weak. The arguments. Weak. Then he gets up there and tells the jury that all the people that got up there and testified against Sean P. Diddy Combs was lying. He ain't say it like that, but he might as well said it like that, because for all the people that got up there and said that, hey man, this dude right here did me wrong. This dude right here, made me work. When I'm talking about I had to, I was exhausted. I fell out and all this old type of stuff. This guy right here made me kidnap people. This guy right here made me tote guns. He made me go buy drugs for him and stuff like that. He told the jury all those people loved him. And in the same breath, he told them people that all those people that got on the stand and testified against P. Diddy didn't like him. I said, bruh, I can comprehend, but man, you just confused me, man. Which one is it? You saying that they didn't like him, but they loved him. Listen, let me tell y'all something. When you love somebody, you're not finna get on the stand and testify against that person, knowing that your testimony can help get them life in the penitentiary. I don't want that kind of love right there, y'all. I'll pass on that right there. I don't want that kind of love. This man is telling these people they love, man. They don't love him. If they loved him, they would have been like, man, look, get me for contempt of court. I'm not finna get on there and testify against that brother. I love him. You know what I'm saying? That's my man. That's my ex. I love him. I'm not finna. People do it all the time. People do it all the time. These people's got up there and testified because they do not love him. Now, once upon a time, they probably entertained that they thought that they loved him until he started dogging them. Then they realized that he, P. Diddy, didn't love them. Then Diddy lawyers tried to attack the kidnapping, right? They said that the sister Capricorn Clark was not kidnapped. They are saying that when she went unwillingly, when she went to go get the lie detector test, she was able to go home. Therefore, that is not kidnapping. Now, when I heard that, I was like, hey, you know what? Now that right there might have got a little something to it. That might be one of them sneaking, that right there might got a little something to it. But then once I thought about it, we got to understand something. This woman testified that they had a gun on her. They made her go to some warehouse or wherever the place was to take a lie detector test, and Puff was with him. P. Diddy Combs was with him to see if she stole some jewelry. She did not want to do that. She had to be in the evidence that she didn't want to do that is that they had to have a gun. If she was willing to go with them to take a lie detector test, what's the purpose of the gun for? And if she loved Diddy the way that his lawyers are saying, why would she even testify to something like that? This woman right here came up there and say, hey man, look, this is what happened. And when she testified to that, and when she told the prosecuting attorneys or the investigators that, they knew exactly what that was. They said, oh, that fit the elements of kidnapping. Regardless if you let them go, you got to think about it. Anytime you kidnap somebody, they get let go. You don't hold them forever. Y'all, come on. Y'all see what I'm saying, right? If you kidnap somebody, you put a gun, get in the trunk. After you get done getting what you want from them, from the kidnap, you let them go. So, at first I thought, I was like, man, that's kind of... But then once I dug deep into my wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, I said, man, that's weak too. Because again, when you kidnap somebody, after you get done doing what you was doing, you let them go. So they let her go 5 different times and kidnapped her again and brought her back and made her do the lie detector test. Cold-blooded demonstration. Then Diddy lawyer, he goes to demonstrate about the Kid Cudi demonstration. When he grabbed Capricorn and say, look, you finna take me to Kid Cudi house. Cassie, you finna take me to Kid Cudi house. With a gun. This is what the women are saying. They are saying that this man had a gun. You know what the lawyer said? He ain't had no gun. Nah, he ain't had no gun. He just, jumped in the car with them and had them take him over there. Had them take Diddy over there to Kid Cudi's house because Diddy wanted to fight him head up. Diddy was jealous. He was mad and stuff like that. So he wanted to go to Kid Cudi crib to throw down. He wanted to throw some hands. He wanted to thump. I said, man, this lawyer right here is delusional. The man's car got damn near blown up. There was an investigation. Both of the girls are saying that, look, dude forced us into the... We ain't want to go do that. Dude forced us in the car, had a gun. We ain't had no choice but to do it. But he's saying that, nah, he went there, he just wanted to fight. You took the girls with you because you just want to fight? No, hell no. The bodyguards and all them right there, you just wanted to fight? Come on, bruh. Come on. So then when he went to want to go fight, and when the police came and the car was on fire, who did that then? Who put the car on fire? Who threw a cocktail, a Molotov cocktail in the man's car and set the car on fire? If he wanted to just, go and fight. He told the man he was going to blow his car up. And the man's car damn near got blown up. These public defenders, P. Diddy ain't spend no money on these lawyers. These public defenders, I'm telling you. And when I say public defenders, listen. Throughout this trial, the judge had to correct the public... I'm about to call them public defenders for real. Because that's how whack they is, though. I got to be 100. But the judge had to correct P. Diddy's lawyers twice for making misstatements. They telling the jury how to think. They telling the jury foul stuff, wrong stuff. And one of the things that I believe that is tough is that they told the jury, I'm telling you, they've been in my comment section. They told the jury that Puff Daddy is being targeted by the government. And when I heard that, I said, man, his lawyer's been in my comment section. Because that's the conspiracy theory that they've been saying in the comment section. Man, they targeting Diddy, man, because, Diddy filed a lawsuit against them peoples with the liquor stuff, and now they trying to take all his money. Brother, that's a weak argument. That's a weak conspiracy theory for the simple fact of he won the lawsuit. From my understanding, Diddy won the lawsuit. There is no evidence, none whatsoever, that the government is targeting him because he filed a lawsuit against some regular tax-paying citizens that happen to own liquor companies. I don't understand it, but hey, look, they must have been in the comment section because they said the same thing in this trial. But that's not it. So then Diddy's lawyer started talking about the hotel incident with Diddy and Cassie. When Diddy beat Cassie to smithereens, kicked her, stomped her, all that old type of stuff. They are saying that it's not bribery, that Diddy didn't bribe nobody because Cassie didn't want the tape to come out neither. Cassie wanted to, save the tape or get rid of the tape because she had movies and she had a reputation and stuff like that. And she didn't want the tape to get out neither. I don't know where they get that from because I don't remember her saying that. I don't remember her saying anything about that. But I know why Diddy ain't wanted to get out, because it would have shown him beating that girl in a robe and some socks. I mean, in a towel and some socks. Like she a full grown man. But they say that that's not bribery, right? How? When the man that they gave, how is it not bribery? When the man that they paid got on the stand and said, they paid me what, $100,000 or $50,000? They paid him thousands of dollars for the video footage. And that was supposed to have been the only one. Can't nobody else see the video footage. It was just for P. Diddy and his peoples. And he sent his peoples to go take care of that. How was that not bribery? Because we got to understand something. That's a crime. That's a crime. And I'm not talking about the bribery. I'm talking about the domestic violence. They were supposed to report that. They were supposed to see that video and give that to the police and say, hey man, this dude just beat this girl up. Y'all might want to check this out. That is why she's able to sue the hotel. Because they were supposed to give that information to the police. That probably could have stopped a lot of stuff that was going on between her and P. Diddy. But being that they didn't, being that they got bribed, that's why the security guard had to have immunity. Because what he did was illegal. He accepted a bribe. You understand? A bribe and accepting the bribe is illegal. So he got up there and told the whole truth and nothing but the truth. He got immunity. Why he got to lie? And his lawyers got up there, Diddy's lawyers got up there and said, hey, no, it wasn't no bribery. No, it wasn't like that. Cassie ain't want it out. And the hotel, they didn't want it out neither. They wanted to keep, their hotel being in good standards and stuff like that. I said, man, these public defenders is crazy. Then his lawyers, Diddy's lawyers, got to talking about the distribution thing with the drugs, right? And they said that, hey, look, that's how assistants are used. People use their assistants to go do things for them that they can't do, or, things that they don't have time to do. But I think his lawyer is mistaken. You can have assistants do legal things for you, not illegal things. And what he was doing, his assistants, P. Diddy was paying his assistants, and they was going to go get drugs. That's illegal. They can't do that. They're not supposed to do that. That's against the law. And when they would go get these drugs and hand them to P. Diddy, he would distribute to them. Hey, here you go. Yeah, let's get high. To commit another crime, which is trafficking and the man law. Come on. Look, these public defenders, I'm blown. I'm talking about, y'all, look, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I seen this, I said, I'm still baffled by this. I'm like, man, like I'm thinking they finna come. I'm talking about haymakers. Apollo Creed. Y'all remember Rocky when Apollo Creed? Apollo Creed and Mr. T. Y'all remember when Mr. T was throwing them haymakers? I'm thinking it's like they just windmilling it. You know how Y'all know how them sisters be fighting, you know, how they used to fight. Sisters fight like men now. I don't know what the hell happened, but how sisters used to fight, they used to windmill it and, you know, they used to do all that and pull hair and stuff like that. Yeah, they came out demonstrating that measure right there. Then P. Diddy's lawyers closed out saying that P. Diddy is a very nice person. Let him go home to his family. He is not guilty of none of the charges. They want the jury to find him not guilty of all charges. He has children. He helps people. He takes care of people. Let him go and release him, or find him not guilty so that he can continue his good works. After 30-some people got on the stand and talked about him like a dog. And they ain't brought in one person to talk about his good works. Public defenders. Then the prosecutors, they rebutted. They came up with a rebuttal to everything that the public defenders was talking about. I'm talking about crushed them. The prosecutor told the jury straight like this: listen, the defendant is trying to say that he flew people in across state lines just so that they can sit down and have conversations. They are lying. They flew people in to have sex with Cassie. They flew people in to have sex with Jane Doe. Not only that, these peoples were paid to have sex. They wasn't paid for their time. They wasn't paid to have conversations. They were paid specifically to have sex, which is illegal. Then the prosecutor killed him with this right here when he got to talking about the racketeering. He said that in racketeering, there's illegal activities and there's legal activities. And the witnesses that got on the stand that are a part of the racketeering, talking about people that are employed by Sean P. Diddy Combs, did both. They did illegal things, and that's the racketeering, and they did legal things. That's the organization. I said, okay. I see where you coming from, dog. I see. What else you got? The prosecutor said that Kid Cudi corroborated the kidnapping because Capricorn Clark did not want to go with them when they came to his crib. And then he said something cold-blooded. He said, the defendant's lawyer wants you to believe that Mr. Sean Combs is a fist guy. Yeah, right. Probably to his girlfriends. I said, what? Hey, man. The prosecutor, did y'all hear what I just said? The prosecutor told the jury that, man, look, the defendant lawyer got up here and said that he was a fist guy, like he wanted to go and fight Kid Cudi. He said, yeah, right. He's a fist guy to his girlfriends. Why? Because he done beat both of them. That's why he said that. Then he talked about the kidnapping demonstration with Cassie. When they took her to the hotel, when he stomped her face. Yeah, when he stomped her face. Kicked her, beat her, punched her. When they took her to the hotel and she had to stay in the hotel for 5 days, she said she wanted to go home, but she couldn't. Because she was compelled, she was forced to be in that hotel by who? Sean P. Diddy Combs. And then he said, that is kidnapping. Then the prosecuting attorney said that the defendant's lawyer got up here and said that Cassie and Jane Doe wanted it. That they was all good with the swinger thing. And the prosecutor said, yeah, they wanted to get beat up and have people urinate in their face, being forced to have sex after being punched on by the defendant. I don't think they wanted that. I said, yeah. The prosecutor ended his demonstration by saying that P. Diddy been getting away with so much illegal stuff and nothing never happened. And that's what emboldening him to continue doing these illegal activities. But he said, not today. Nuh-uh. Find him guilty of all the charges. Everything is laid out there in front of you. All the evidence you have. Find him guilty. I must say, and I got to be 100 with y'all, that this right here, if P. Diddy get out of this right here, he used some of that money to taint the jury. Some of the jury members are paid off. The judge might be paid. Some, because there's just too much overwhelming evidence pointing to his guilt. And like I said before, people that are close to him are coming and condemning him, are testifying against him. And we got to understand something. When you dealing with somebody that's close to you, they know your inner workings. They know what's going on. And we got to ask ourselves, what reason would these women have to lie? A lot of people say Cassie already done got paid. Why would she come up here and tell a lie now? Risk getting perjury. Risk losing her fortune. Not only that, he paid her $20 million. So that tells us right there, like I said in my last video, you don't pay nobody no $20 million for talking trash if you ain't ever did nothing. You see? So I believe it's over with for this brother. I believe it's done with. I believe that the prosecution, they did a phenomenal job. And I believe P. Diddy had public defenders. They didn't bring up no type of evidence, period. Like, I thought they was going to be coming like with, text messages showing. I thought they was going to be coming out with video footage showing stuff and all that. Man, dude came in there and said everybody was lying. Basically. They lying. All of them lying. All these people, 30-some people's coming in here talking about this one man, and the best that you can do is say, nah, they lying. No, bro. I don't know. Look, public defenders. But allow me to say this before I depart. Brothers, don't do this. If you dealing with women or you in that life, you are not exempt from what just happened to Sean P. Diddy Combs. You're not exempt from that. All that big boss, and I'm a boss, and I'm a general, and I'm a king, and all that, and I got these women doing this and women doing that, and I'm flying people in because in my mind, hey man, this is okay. No, that's against the law. You flying people in to have sex, that's against the law. And, I see brothers be talking about, hey, yeah, I flew her in, man, flew the bad broad in, hit her with a couple bands and all that. Let's be honest. You brothers that's flying these women in, y'all flying them in because y'all want to have sex with them, bro. Y'all ain't flying them in to, hey, man, I just want to stare in your eyes. I just want to hear your sweet voice. I just want to touch your hand. That's it. Go on home, baby. No, You flying them in. And she saying, hey, look, I need a few dollars. Fair exchange ain't no robbery. In the underworld, right? But in the civilized world, those is crimes. So I want to encourage you, brothers. Hey, look, no, we got to slow down on that. Why? Because if something happen, she can always, hey, I got it on tape. Yeah, he flew me in, he paid me this right here, he beat me up, he did this, he did that. Whether it be the truth or a lie, you putting yourself at risk. So the best thing that you can do is find you somebody that's genuine. So if you do fly him in, you ain't got to pay him. She just like you because she like you. And if she want to make love lotion with you, she gonna make love lotion with you without the financial benefit. Because once again, if you paying somebody for sex, that's a crime. And if you flying them across state lines, that's a federal crime. Don't do it. Don't do it. And if you a P. Diddy type of a brother, I'm talking about you want to beat the women up and make the women have sex with other strange men and stuff like that you find off Craigslist and all that old type of stuff, then you setting yourself up for failure. This is an unfortunate situation, but we hood educated, not lane related. So what can we do? All we can do is learn from this. We see how they play. We see how they do. Now all we got to do is say, hold on, P. Diddy did what? He did this, he did that, he did that. So that means I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do that. You see what I'm saying? That's how you keep yourself free. That's how you keep yourself stress-free. You ain't got to be worried about the feds kicking your door down and all that old type of stuff. You ain't got to worry about none of that when you doing what's right. But if you think, and I'm talking to you brothers with all this money and stuff like that, because this money go to y'all head and then y'all just think y'all can do what y'all want to do and y'all can treat people how y'all want to treat them. No. We learning right now that you can't do that. So like I say, learn from this situation. Learn from this brother's mistakes. So you won't have to make the same mistakes that he did. This is hood educated, not lane related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.